Jacob gets Isaac's blessing. Well, he deceived there. Anyhow, I'm in a section of continuous chapter, one chapter at a time to the end, Bible study in the video long section, so I can comment better as I go. That's why I do it in the whole Bible. I'm in Genesis 27. Jacob means supplanter, or well, or the grabber of the heel. It's what he did when they're coming out. Ironically, all of God, because anyhow, I'll go back to that. It means take advantage of, deceiver. Well, he got Jacob, and his name was changed to Israel when God let him win in the wrestling match. When God showed up, I'd be Jesus in the word form, showed up in a flesh form like Jesus did. Jesus doesn't die, the word, just the flesh. Anyhow, and he let him win in the wrestling match. So he called him, your name was Israel, overcomer with God. All of God as symbols. God chose Israel as a peculiar nation. Anyway, I don't have time. Can digress forever. But what I want to say about Jacob. So Jacob, advantage, supplanter, maybe deceive. He bought birthright because he was so famished. Esau, his older brother. It does say earlier that God chose Jacob over Esau, the younger. Why? I don't know. God doesn't need to answer like the book of Job. What does he need to answer for us? The pottery in his hands, But anyhow, but when Jacob took the blessing, he deceived by putting on, hence getting fleeced, the term. He put the fleece, wasn't it, of the hair of the sheep, not fleece. Hence you get fleeced, you get fooled on his arms because Esau was hairy and he wasn't, and his father was losing his eyesight. That's in here. I think might be in this chapter because it does say he takes the blessing, so it will be in this chapter. But either way, he bought right in front of Esau his birthright, but he stole the blessing, as I said, you'll see. But either way, I don't know how that all transpired. Well, I mean, other than reading it, because God chose Jacob anyways. So I don't know why Jacob chose to deceive together. But anyhow, start with chapter 27. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak that he could no longer see, he called for Esau, the oldest, his older son, and said to him, my son, here I am, he answered. Isaac said, I am now an old man. That's the father, Isaac. I am now an old man and don't know the day of my death. Verse 3, now then get your weapons, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country and hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me to eat so that I may give you my blessing before I die. Now Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. See, God shows Esau, but how all this worked, I don't know. I mean, how much that God influenced, well, he did, but if they took it too far in the ways they did it, anyhow, it's sin or something, Now Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, look, I overheard, your father say to your brother Esau, bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die. Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father, just the way he likes it. Verse 10, then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies. Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, but my brother Esau, as I said earlier, is a hairy man, and I'm a man with smooth skin. What if my father touches me and I would, because he couldn't see well, his arms, I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself rather than a blessing. 13. His mother said to him, my son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say. Go and get them for me. So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth back of his neck with the goat skins. There you go. To make it appear like getting fleeced. His hands, and I believe it says his arms. Either way, to be hairy, Then she handed to her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. 18. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," he answered. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn." Remember, he couldn't see well, the father Isaac. "I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing." Verse 20. Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. 21. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." Again, because of his eyes are gone. Very much so here. Anyways, 22. Jacob went close to his father Isaac, who touched him and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau." He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau, so he blessed him. "Are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "I am," he replied. Then he said, "My son," verse back to 25, I'll get there, but remember what I said earlier? God planned it, says earlier, and Jacob took legitimately the birthright to Esau right to his face about buying it, but here he got fleeced, as the term comes, pretty sure from here, using animal skin and fur to trick, to be fleeced, to be fooled again. So this seems deceptive, and I don't think God would use this way, so I don't know how it all transpired or worked out. Or verse 25, then he said, Isaac to his son, whom he thought was Esau, but it was Jacob, the supplanter, "My son, bring me some of your game." Hang on. Hang on. Where am I here? Okay, verse 24. Verse 25, excuse me again. Then he replied, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate, and he brought some wine and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son, and kiss me." So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field that the Lord has blessed. May God give you of heaven's dew and of earth's richness, an abundance of grain and new wine. Many nations serve you, and peoples bow down to you." Remember, the promise of Abraham continued, but God chose a younger son through the promised son, the promised seed, Jesus, would come. "Many nations shall serve you, and peoples bow down to you." That's to Jesus Christ, really, in the end. "Be Lord over your brothers." Well, he was Lord over his brother Esau. "And may the sons of your mother bow down to you." Actually, that happened when his son Joseph, remember, he went to Egypt and they all bowed down to him. They thought he was dead when they saw him to the Midianites, but he lived and he became the highest in Egypt, and they did bow to him. Remember, Joseph saw the dream that the stars, his other brothers, 11 stars, bowed down to the one, and then they knew what it meant. They said, "Shall we bow down to you?" Look at this. "Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you." There you go. "May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." So it's a continuation of the line of the actual son God chooses, right? So, right, Joseph, David, all along the way to Jesus, the promised son that the whole world will be blessed in. "And those who bless you will be blessed." Verse 30. After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Then he said to him, "My father, sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I am your son," he answered, "your firstborn Esau." Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came and blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me too, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob, the supplanter? Grabbed by the heel, the one's full of trickery and deceit. He has deceived me these two times." Remember, he sold the birthright, and it didn't deceive him with the birthright. He sold it because he was so famished. But this time he did. He took my, and as far as the way he did it, went through that before. He took my, Esau continuing, Jacob, his brother, took my birthright, and now he has taken my blessing. Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" Isaac answered Esau, "I have made him Lord over you." There you go, all of God. But Again, I explained, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son? Esau said to his father, do you have only one blessing, my father? Bless me too, my father. Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered him, your dwelling will be away from the earth's riches, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. Yeah, because his descendants were always under Israelites, surrounding nations. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck. 41. Esau had held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, the days of mourning for my father are near. When he dies, then I will kill my brother Jacob. 42. When Rebekah was told what her older son Esau had said, she sent for someone, heard it, and told it. Be careful what you say. A bird of feather carry away, Solomon. Or today I heard from my birdie. Someone heard it and told her. So as she thought, she told her older son. She sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, your brother Esau is consoling himself with the thought of killing you. Verse 43. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. When your brother is no longer angry with you and forgets what you did to him, I'll send word for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day? Verse 46. Then Rebekah said to Isaac, I am disgusted with, probably made this up too, it's an excuse to get her son back to her brother, because she heard that Esau wanted to kill the older brother Jacob. She obviously liked Jacob too, the younger. It's funny, the younger is a few times in the Bible. Remember Jacob coming up and like the younger, and he was forced to marry the older. I don't have time. He wanted just Rachel. Verse 46. Then Rebekah said to Isaac, her husband, I'm disgusted with living, again, this ruse, what I think, right, to save Jacob, the reason him go to her brother Laban, because of these Hittite women. I'll reread that. 46. Then Rebekah said to Isaac, I'm disgusted with living because of these Hittite women. If Jacob takes a wife from among the women of this land, from Hittite women like these, my life will not be worth living. So, to get Jacob out of there, to save him to live with his brother Laban. Boy, the soap opera but all in all, the soap opera of marriage and life and family. The family reunions. Okay. Thank you. Bye.